Hello, this is Michaela of Studious Octopus, and I'm here today doing my GlossyBox catch-up. But just a quick aside right at the beginning, I got a brand new camera. My other half bought me a lovely DSLR, but it's still on a budget. It's still what people consider the best entry-level DSLR, because it's not the kind of thing that I think you should have to spend lots and lots of money on. So I'm now using the Nikon D3300, which is the best, most affordable camera, in my opinion, for 1080p 60fps video. So this is the first video I'm doing with it, so I'll have to see how well it goes, how well it records. I'm not 100% sure if it's all set up right away, but I'll get used to it. Yeah. So we're doing the GlossyBox catch-up. This is for the March 2016 UK GlossyBox. I'll just pull all the relevant bits out. And this was the Get Glowing edition. And I'll just briefly go through each of the items from the top, probably leaving the worst to last. And I'm guessing if you have this box, you probably know which one I'm going to say is the worst. So first off, we got this Luxy Rose Gold Large Angled Face Brush, which I actually really liked. It's a really nice, lovely, soft face brush to use, and I do think it's just the right size for adding just a little really nice subtle contouring, which isn't something that I've experimented with a lot and is something that I am quite wary to do, but I found this is the perfect size to fit here in that dip in the side of your face, which starts where your ear is. That's where you contour, and you do that towards your mouth, but you don't go any closer than your eyeball, I think is the idea, and you sort of give your face some natural definition. And I found this brush is quite nice for that, and it's also quite nice for buffing it out, because it has that element of the top is really soft and really nice on your face, and then you have this sort of slightly firmer, bouncier sort of length to the bristles that make it quite nice. So I quite like this. I think this is the second or third, I think it is the third actually, makeup brush I've gotten from GlossyBox, and I've been happy with all three of them, I think, so this is nice. And then next up, I'm just going to go quickly into the skincare items. We had two samples. One was the Olay Regenerist Serum on the right here, the Skin Tone Perfecting Cream. It is quite a nice moisturizer. It's nice and rich and thick, but I still don't think it's particularly suited to me, purely from the standpoint that it is an anti-aging cream. It is for helping with the discoloration that you have at that part of your life, which I don't have a problem with. Generally though, it was a nice rich moisturizer. It didn't make my skin overly sensitive, so I wouldn't say it's bad, I just wouldn't say it's suited to me. And then the second item that we got, the Hey Honey Good Morning Serum, I actually have quite liked. I didn't show it in my initial unboxing, but it is this very yellow, kind of runny serum liquid that comes out here. And it is a very nice sort of extra layer to all of your normal skincare, I would definitely say. It adds just a little bit of moisturization. I would definitely say you couldn't use this on its own, but it also has a sort of smoothing effect on the screen on your skin for definite, which I think you can feel. You know, it's saying you can use it alongside your makeup because it feels like a primer as well as a nice sort of extra element of moisturizer and the sort of goodness of the ingredients in it. So I have actually really liked this. The next item up is the Collection Speedy Highlighter. And there it is there. And it is a very nice, very budget cream highlighter in the super easy to use packaging. But what you're going to notice is that I've also brought out the So Susan one, because we did actually just get this highlighter. And it is very similar to the Collection highlighter. I'm going to put them side by side here and we'll be able to see them and have a look at them. So this is the Collection one here, I'm not sure how well that's coming up, but the collection one is definitely more pink toned. The So Susan one is more of a pearly, creamy colour, but they both have the same effect where the way that it works isn't to do with the colour, it's to do with the fact that they shine in the light, that they are a nice highlighter, and they both feel really nice and really creamy and soft on the skin, and they both wear very, very similarly. But it is a bit weird that we've gotten something that's so similar so quickly, but they do have different strong points. The collection one is definitely cheaper. Not only is it cheaper, you get quite a bit more product, 5 grams for your money, compared to the So Susan one, which is I think only like 2 grams. So you're getting twice as much in the collection one as in the So Susan one for less money, way less money. This is on here, it is £4, I think that's right, whereas this is more like a tenner, so you're paying half the price for more than twice the product. However, what you do get when you buy the So Susan one is that a lot of the point of their items is that they are cruelty free. They have a cruelty free bunny logo, you can see there. And one of their other selling points is that they are full of ingredients that are also good for your skin, which I do like as well, but I always think it's important to sort of have lots of different options. They're slightly different colours, they do very similar things. One's cheaper, one's more expensive, one's more ethical perhaps, but it really depends what's important to you when you're shopping. But I do think it was important to point out we got a very, very similar item not that long ago. And that was the collection shimmer stick. And then the last up there is the -417 shampoo and conditioner set. It has felt like in the last few glossy boxes there has been one thing where I've had to go, no, this is just really, really bad. And a lot of people online have already talked about these are really, really bad. And it was one of those things where I wanted to give them a go and give them a go. I've used these on about 4 occasions. They are pretty much empty, but I wanted to give them a genuine go so that I didn't feel that it was just that my hair wasn't perhaps used to it or it was a new type of product. So a little hair care sidewise, I like to wash my hair about twice a week. I have a reasonably sensitive scalp in terms of that it gets quite dry, and then when it gets quite dry it overproduces oil and my hair is gross. So I try not to wash it too much, and I try to use things that I know are good for it, and these weren't. Lots of people have said online that they felt that they were really, really drying, and actually at first I didn't feel that they had made my hair feel dry, but it didn't feel like it normally did when I washed it. It didn't feel the normal type of cleanliness. But what you definitely notice is that your hair doesn't stay as sort of clean and clean looking for as long using these, that I lost a whole extra day, that I had to wash my hair sooner on every single one of the 4 occasions that I used this. And that it didn't really feel like it was a case of my hair had to get used to it, my scalp had to get used to it. I was only using a little bit of both products. I wasn't overdoing it and leaving residue. So they just don't seem like very good shampoos and conditioners. There is a little left in both of them. So I don't have particularly long hair, I don't have particularly thick hair, so I don't need a lot of shampoo or conditioner, but I am not going to use the rest of these that is left. There's probably about 1 or 2 uses left in them. It's just frustrating to use and try and to focus. I'll get used to the camera. It's just frustrating to use and try and to give something your time and effort, and for it to just consistently keep being kind of rubbish. So these were a real letdown. And I think consistently, actually, a lot of people online have said these are a real letdown. So they are just going in the bin. Admittedly, ultimately, these weren't part of the main cost of the box. This set here was worth about £6. The rest of the box was still most of the value that I got, which was the £39.46. Taking off this £5 for the rubbish hair, it would still be over £30. It's still a good box value, it's still more than you paid for the box, but it's very disappointing to get these sorts that it just wasn't good, and it wasted my time and it made my hair feel awful and I didn't like it. Yeah, the only other minor niggle that I saw someone else mention on the GlossyBox Facebook page, which I do think is kind of a fair point, which is that while it's been good to have all of these discoveries of new types of products and new products, when GlossyBox give us things that are not based in the UK, they are harder to get a hold of if you're looking for things to genuinely try and to then keep using as new skincare, that you also don't just have the cost of these items, using, say, the Hey Honey as an example, which is that, yes, you can buy it from America, but you'd also have to pay for it to be shipped from America, which is slightly awkward and doesn't really make them as good value as the sort of the representing on the bit of paper, which is that they are still perhaps not affordable things to add to your skincare. I always think that can kind of be the problem to do with sort of what people consider their price point for skincare. Lots of people consider, you know, will be willing to pay different things for different amount of skincare. I do generally like to try and get a good balance between affordability and what I think is, you know, good and worth buying. So that was the GlossyBox Get Glowing Catch-Up. Mostly fine. There's some sort of not very suited products, some repeat products, but I still liked it for the most part. I would say out of all of them, I really loved the brush and I really liked the skincare serum. The highlighter is nice, but I probably would think it was nicer if I hadn't already gotten the So Susan one. And the hair stuff was absolutely awful. And we do have a sneak peek for April's box, which is that we are all getting a facial oil courtesy of the Body Shop. We'll see how that goes. We should get the new box soon. And I'll see you again next time. 25, which is not bad. It's a nice little sample. Next up is the Hey Honey stuff, and this is an American brand. And the full size of this is 30 milliliters, and it's...
Think. I've gotta think.
So as you can see, we rather look like we're panicking, which, to be fair, you'd panic.
Listen to us breathing.
That one looks weird on the right, because it's like the head isn't in a picture.
Yeah,